everybody.
Do you know John Rocker?
I do know the name.
Do you know why you know the name?
No.
So he was a MLB player, pitcher,
MLB,
Major League Baseball,
Major League Baseballs,
professional baseball player,
professional,
and he was a really good player that one time Sports Illustrated, he's most famous for because Sports Illustrated did a profile on him 20 some years ago, a long time ago. And in the article, he's with the journalist and he's like, yeah, he's like, New York's gross. It's like people with AIDS and gay people.
Love it.
And it was like the biggest story that he was like, there's blacks everywhere. It's crazy. Everybody was like, this guy's a fucking...
I remember this.
Yeah, and it made
I vaguely remember this.
Poor guy, I'm sure, is like, come on, that can't be the only thing about him, but that's all anybody knows about him is that he was like, there's gays in New York. If you pull up the John Rocker quotes.
Where was he living at the time? Because to see that for the first time is a shock.
He was an Atlanta guy, right? So he's like, they asked him, would you play for the Mets or New York? He goes, I'd retire first. It's the most hectic, nerve-wracking city. Imagine having to take the 7 train to the ballpark. You're riding it through Beirut next to someone with purple hair, some queer with AIDS, right next to some dude who just got out of jail for the 4th time, right next to some 20-year-old mom with 4 kids. It's depressing. The biggest thing I don't like about New York are foreigners. You can walk an entire block in Times Square and not hear anybody speak English. Asians, Koreans, Vietnamese, Indians, Russians, Spanish people, everything. How the hell did they get in this country? Here's the crazy thing about it. He's right.
That's what I was going to say. He's not wrong.
That's exactly what New York is like. Yeah. It's just whether or not you like it or not.
Or you can tolerate it, or it doesn't bother you. But if you live somewhere like Atlanta, I guess you don't see the gays and the AIDS and the 20-year-old moms.
So funny, man.
And the Russians.
And they just dragged him so hard about, like, they just were like, he's some redneck,
Sure.
And then...
From flu to ew, your air remembers. Unlike air fresheners, Lysol Air Sanitizer eliminates odors by killing 99.9% of viruses and bacteria in the air. Scent can't sanitize. Lysol can.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm calling to report a missing person.
Who's the person in question?
Me. Let's play a game. I'll hide, you seek. If successful, I'll reward you generously.
Unconfirmed sightings of the GX Man have been reported all over the world.
The GX Man just passed me in the street in Malibu.
Yeah, a man in a red suit just bought like all the oil in our store. I went on a blind date with the GX Man. He gave me a fake number.
25 years later, however long ago that was, if you read this, you're like, yeah, that is what it's like to ride the train.
It's a completely accurate depiction.
It is somebody with purple hair, and you don't hear English. Like that's
he's right.
Still the same.
He's absolutely
And you
right.
are like, how the fuck did the person get here?
I really wish people would start memorizing this as a monologue and doing this. This could be like a good morning.
It's
evil.
I know. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
Like y'all being hard on Diddy and shit.
Stop flexing your nipples.
All these down lows. That's all the fuck he did. He just showing what it really go. What
flexing his
really
tits.
fucking do. What's really going on out here. What's really fucking popping.
These are
trying to bring the boy down. Because he doing his thing. Motherfuckers mad because they showing how kinky and nasty and filthy that damn fucking industry is. That's all that shit is. Motherfuckers getting exposed. All them fucking fetishes they got and shit. DLs and downloads. Y'all need to let that man go. Let that man go.
No.
Go home to his fucking family. Get back to popping, doing his thing. Nobody give a party like fucking Diddy. Stop playing with me.
So the people have spoken.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they play this in court,
Well, just, he was drugging people and also taking the reason he took videos was to blackmail you into doing these. So he had videos of Cassie doing stuff and he would be like, I'm going to show your mom these videos unless you do them every week for 10 years. And then he basically he'd buy her properties just like minutes away from his house. And then he would just show up randomly at these properties, like just let himself in. What are you doing, bitch? Like if she was out of his sight for like a few minutes, it would be like, where are you? What are you doing? What did I, like, he was very controlling.
Yeah. It's super, it's like textbook abusive behavior.
Well, that's
obviously.
right. You're an expert in this kind of with all the shows that you watch on this cool stuff.
Yeah.
You tell me what's going on.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, you hear these things. This is textbook abusive behavior. This is control. isolating people. You know, like when you isolate people, you make them feel more hopeless and helpless. Like it's textbook abuse. It's like control. It's like total control over somebody. And he's obviously has like a pretty dark fucking side to him, man. Like this is.
Oh my God! And the coolest part, not the cool guy part, I mean, is that his children are sitting in the hearing.
Oh my God!
And they're gonna play the freak off tapes. And he's like, "Yeah, I want my kids here to support me." His daughter got up and stormed out, but his sons apparently are sticking around to watch the footage. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
I'm T. P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Well, Rob Eiler calls me T Diddy.
That's terrible.
Because of the scenes that I put him in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's like, you're T Diddy.
Yeah.
Get ready, Massachusetts and New York. I'll be bringing my Come Together tour to Mass Mutual Center in Springfield, Massachusetts this Thursday, May 22nd. And then Turning Stone Resort Casino in Verona, New York this Saturday, May 24th. Get tickets now at tomsegura.com/tour.
I heard Rob Eiler's doing the same caca stuff you have to do.
Oh, pooping in a bucket and scooping it into a thing. I still haven't done it.
You guys are poop bros.
I'm doing anything. I'm avoiding the shit out of it.
Why would you want to? It's terrible.
I'm not even calling them back.
I feel like you should hire an employee to do it for you.
All right. Who wants to volunteer?
Oh my God. Tanner's hand shot up so fast.
Tanner, I got to shit into a bucket and then scoop it into vials.
I've done it before.
You have?
Yeah. My mom made me do it because she thought I was like messed up or something. So, yeah.
So you had no problem with it?
No problem with. I like shit in like one of them like fry baskets you get in and out, and then you get like this cool little spoon and you put it in a tube and then you shake it up until it turns purple.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
He does know about this.
Wait, are you the only volunteer in the room?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I'm not scared of little poop.
Sounds like a Tanner job to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see your hand shoot up.
I'm good on that.
Okay. Josh, you're just gonna let him take that job?
Yeah, he wants to do it. Why not?
Wow.
I've already done it before. I'm used to the game, brother.
All right, we'll talk about it after this.
Wait a minute. What about Tony Johns? We didn't do the Tony Johns.
Oh, what's the Tony Johns? Oh yeah, we have. Well, I have an update, voicemail update. Can I play this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's the latest Tony Johns from the inside. Everybody.
Just want to say this is Tony Michael Jones, ladies man. Over here in the jailhouse. I just want to say, there's a very, very special sweetie out there out in Cali. Her name's Lynn, and we've been talking for about 6 months now, and we finally made it official in the jailhouse. And I just want to let all my fans know that I am off the market, and I love you, Lynn. I love you, sweetie. I can't wait to get out to Cali and show you a good time, baby. Take a nice, clean, hot shower with you, sweetie. I love you, Lynn. I'll call you tonight, baby, at 8 o'clock. I love you, sweetie.
Wow. So that's the update.
Is that a message for us or
I don't
for
know.
Lynn?
I mean, he's letting this
Wow.
He said, I want to let my fans know I'm off the market.
Well, this is a huge development.
Now, here's what I want to know as a worker, because sometimes, people in that industry still have relationships, like romantic relationships, and they do their work, it's just work. So I wonder if he'll still do his, like his adult work, or whether he's saying, this love is now taking me out of that.
Oh, his OnlyFans. Well, can we check his OnlyFans? Is he still? I guess he can't produce behind bars.
I know.
But he said he is still going to do it. He'll still do the scene with Alexis, and his fiance is giving her full support.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank God.
Yeah, she gets it. It's just a job. It's just work.
A job.
Yeah. There's no feelings behind it.
No.
Yeah.
No,
He's just going to performing.
Is stacking checks.
Yeah,
totally
performing.
fine.
I'm a performer. He's a performer.
That's what I feel. People are like, "Are you upset when Tom talks about you, or does these scenes?" And I'm like, "No,
shooting scenes.
Checks go to the same bank account, babe."
Yep, there you go.
I imagine she feels the same way.
It's very true, very true.
So he's in. So is he? How long is he in jail for? Do we know?
Hopefully, getting out this week. He just had a hearing, so maybe by Friday he'll be out. But we'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Tony Johns. This is all we wanted, is just to stay out of jail, just so we could get to Alexis.
It.
That's all he had to do.
He's delaying his gift to the world. Like, everybody's waiting for this scene because he got locked up.
This is such a crazy turn of events.
I know. I really want him to get out, and I want to, you know, I'm excited.
Niblets in my short.
Is a so my position proper acted in self.
The boy down.
People.
Johns. We didn't do the Tony Johns.
Oh, what's the Tony Johns? Oh yeah, we have. Well, I have an update, voicemail update. Can I play this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's the latest Tony Johns from the inside. Everybody.
Just want to say this is Tony Michael Jones.
These are good
We're making up for the lack of reach, I guess.
Can you look up Fleshlight? I'm curious to see how big it is.
Also, like how much it's developed.
Yeah.
In the last, you know, we remember version 1. What's going on right now?
Oh yeah, I know. What's the AI version?
Beautiful.
Or whatever.
Look at that.
Oh, they're still kind of
cool.
They're still kind of classic looking though, I guess, right?
You can buy it on Amazon even.
I mean,
you can get it in the shape of a guy's butthole.
Oh wow, yeah. Look, one of them looks like a belly button. If you're into that, if you're in a belly button play,
you can fuck that guy's butthole.
You know what they should do? They should make. They should make that. That's the image you're supposed to think about when you're.
You got to give one to Annie and be like, "This is."
What if they did one that was shaped like an ear? You know what I mean?
Oh. Sure.
Or something like that. Something kind of or an eye socket. Or
Can we go to the website just to see like what's going on in the, you know?
Yeah, I'm curious. How much does it weigh? How big is it?
Hell
oh,
yeah!
Wow.
I've always wanted to have sex with Ryan Reed. And now I can get a mold of her butthole or her vag.
Her butthole's no.
You know, no butthole looks like that.
No,
right?
I was gonna say mine doesn't.
There's supposed to be there are lines coming
Puckering
from it. Yeah. Well, there's a pucker look.
Also,
yeah,
can I tell you something?
There's no pucker.
If there's no scent, how do I get hard? They don't work that into this?
They should do scratch and sniff.
They definitely should.
See, it's still pretty big. See the object?
I'm your relief.
It's about time.
You're off duty now. Good. I'm hungry.
Where you see,
It
almost
shakes.
It almost looks like. Do you remember Comic View? Whenever they had certain comics on, where they hit a punchline, they would in post they would shake the camera and stuff to make it look more hardcore. It basically looks
so
like that.
black to do that.
And to be honest, I thought about leaning into the shake and doing the effects to make it look like that. You know,
that's so
so
funny.
it is like a Comic View. If you guys like Comic View, you're gonna like my special a little bit because it's gonna be like shaking and stuff.
That is so
or maybe
funny,
coming
dude.
to the stage. I don't know. Either one.
Like,
Did you?
Shit.
Yeah. But no, and I was thinking, I should add lightning effects and stuff or whatever.
my
God,
God,
just make
dude.
it really like play into it. But no, it's gonna look. I mean, look, the show was so explosive, the laughter was so eruptive.
Yeah.
That it shakes.
Is this the first? How many have you put out? I don't remember.
Number 2.
This is number 2.
Number 2, poo poo.
Yay!
This is so exciting. I was so excited because I remembered that we had open poop talk when we hung out many, many years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been so excited to show you this today.
Oh,
I
snap.
saw you coming in. I was like, oh,
A
boy.
delivery driver is caught on
oh my
camera
gosh.
while leaving her South in front of customers' homes just moments after dropping off their packages.
A delivery driver for Amazon can't seem to hold it in. A woman is seen about to leave an Amazon package at this porch off Yano Drive in Woodland Hills around 5:30 Mother's Day morning.
Mother's Day.
She also leaves a smelly surprise.
Smelly
she
surprise.
relieves herself, does number 1 and number 2 before pulling up her shorts and walks away.
When I woke up, my husband said he was going to bring me some coffee and a pastry. He went downstairs and was greeted by not only one package, but a second inappropriate, disgusting package.
A pastry.
Which was essentially like human feces.
It's like a
and
coffee-flavored
looked to be
pastry.
urination.
Tamara Bedoy and her family could not believe their eyes after watching the footage from their surveillance cameras. She was not done. On another delivery later that morning, the worker is seen urinating on the front property of a different Woodland Hills home. She pulls down her shorts, does her business, and takes off like nothing ever happened. It's unclear why the driver just couldn't wait to find a restroom. The incidents happened 20 minutes apart. The homes less than 1 mile from one another.
That was disgusting, like very disgusting.
It's the Valley, 818.
In the lady's defense, I will say this: she still delivered those packages.
I know.
Well, she delivered many packages. Yeah, and you know what's okay? There's a couple things going on here. One, why did they blur her buttocks but not her face? I mean, they kind of wanted to expose her face.
Yeah.
That's kind of worse in a way, right?
Yeah.
But also, I want to see the action, though.
I want to see the shit come out.
And I also want to see... Well, it's funny because she said coffee and pastry, and that is kind of what the poo looks like in a way.
Yeah.
It's a coffee pastry in a way,
It's
right?
a mix, yeah.
Furthermore, this is not related to the poo, but this is just a general thing about Amazon. Don't you think that the Amazon logo looks like a penis?
I've always thought that.
What's up with that? Can you pull that up real quick? Why? I think they knew what they were doing.
They
I think it's an inside joke. It's kind of like the Little Mermaid cover. Where they have the penis inside there.
This is. Obviously...
That's a penis.
It's supposed to be a smile, but everyone
that ain't
knows
no
it's
smile.
A cock,
But also, it's the same guy who has rockets that go up now to space, but his have deliberate, phallic symbolism.
Oh, yeah?
His rocket is not what you typically see as a rocket.
Bezos' rocket.
Bezos' rocket looks like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, wait, did you guys make that just now, or is that... that somebody
that's
did that?
the official,
because people know.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that... Okay, look at the way that that looks like a curved penis.
But look at Bezos' rocket.
Yeah, it's meant to look like.
Oh, whoa. Okay, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Okay, it's all an inside joke.
He's like, I'm down to fuck, man.
It's an inside joke. Actually, look at his head too.
His head looks like a
Look
cock.
at the way his head is right there.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. The way he's holding his hands. I mean, look, I'm seeing a penis
And the
there
smirk,
and balls.
the smirk is, I'm going to show you my dick.
Yeah. Or
he's
the smirk is, I am a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, in physically. I mean,
Sure.
not. I'm not trying to say his personality or anything, but I mean his.
But don't you get it? Everything is dicks, Brent. If you
That's
look
true,
at
too.
buildings, skyscrapers,
That's true. These
they're
microphones.
all everything
My new
is a
show.
cock. Yeah, everything's
Cock thoughts.
dicks.
Hersuit pursuit.
Yes.
You introduced us to that.
Well,
That's
that reminds me of something I wanted to
want you
ask you
thinking
about.
cock
I want you
thoughts.
thinking cock thoughts.
thoughts.
Why is Bear in a Bathtub not on the internet anymore?
Oh, what?
I don't know.
It's not?
Okay, so we made a video
Yeah.
at one point called Bear in a Bathtub, which was, for me, partially inspired by Hirsute Pursuit, which I kind of accidentally discovered on
Yeah.
MySpace.
Yeah.
But wait, it's not available.
I did not know that.
This is some of
What?
our finest work. Okay.
So if you want to see what really got bad thoughts going, Brent and I, we did Bear in a Bathtub. You know what I remember?
Wait,
I
got
remember,
to be in it too.
Yeah, you're in
Don't I
that
have
too.
a
You're in
little
it?
appearance?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
But what the thing I remember the most of this is that when we made it, I had a professional, a guy who's an actual cinematographer, do do handheld. Obviously, nothing was lit professionally. It was just like, hey man, will you shoot this?
Yeah.
He helped. And when I did the credits.
Oh yeah.
I put director of photography. I gave him a real credit.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, hey man, could you not do that?
No crap.
He was like, well, it doesn't look like you go oh wow, this is really well shot.
So it wasn't because of the content. It was just he didn't like his work in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was
okay.
just like, oh, if this had been lit a certain way.
Yeah, yeah.
We shot it in our bathroom in the Rampart division.
Yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
and I in our first apartment. It was horribly
a
lit.
bathtub.
Oh my god, that was so.
We gotta get that
funny.
back up.
I know.
It was a
where
good
is
sketch.
it?
So basically, the sketch is that she calls me.
Right.
And I'm some sort of bear tamer or something like that, or
Yeah,
bear
like
expert, or
animal
something
control,
like that.
right?
I put on these fake glasses that I have. I got at a theater shop.
Yep.
And I was trying to kind of, look like, it wasn't much of a stretch, but look like some sort of creep or whatever, right? Some kind of James Spader kind of, not James Spader, but some sort of, I don't know, some kind of just expert, right? Kind of like a Buscemi meets
'Cause
Spader.
you were like,
oh yeah, I smelled it. I smelled it. So the bear was, you call it, I have a bear in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Tom in the bathtub. And I guess I have to deal with it somehow. I ended up putting different stuff on you, honey and stuff.
You put
A lot of
honey in
trash.
trash.
And he plays in the trash and stuff. And it's pretty cool. And then the music, it was,
Wasn't it Good Bears Get Honey? Did you say that? Like Good Bears?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good bears
Oh,
get
that's right.
honey.
That's right. You guys, you remember pretty well. Yeah. Good bears get honey.
Yeah.
Good bears get honey. Have you been a good bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad bears get the trash.
That's right.
Something like that. You know, bad bears get the trash. And And that's a good video. We got to get that back up. I kind of started to think to myself, oh, maybe they took it down because you have kids now. You don't want them seeing it.
Never deters
or maybe you want
us.
your kids saying that, seeing it or whatever. You know?
No, I think they'd be like, what is this? They would not get it at all. But
well, our kids aren't allowed on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
You don't let them listen to Cock Thoughts by Hirsute Pursuit or whatever.
Did we use anything that was like trademarked me or
Well, no, I think it was an original piece of music that was meant to sound like Cock Thoughts. I don't know where you got that or whatever. But so Cock Thoughts, by the way, so somehow, okay, this is what happened. How I discovered Hirsute Pursuit was
I want you thinking Cock Thoughts.
My sister had a, she does music and she had a MySpace page, right, for her music. And someone commented on her thing or something, and we went to check out his thing, and he had that song Cock Thoughts playing on his MySpace page. So we started thinking, what is this Hirsute Pursuit thing or whatever? I looked it up, and the guy had a Cock Thoughts. I want you thinking Cock Thoughts.
Yeah.
And then there was there he is, and then he had
this shit slaps so hard.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, go for it.
I want you thinking Cock Thoughts.
There it is. Oh, it's gay sextronica.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
it's hardcore gay sextronica.
The moaning.
I wish Annie were in here.
The moaning below is so primal.
Yeah,
So authentic.
It's very.
Here we go.
Get Annie in here to hear this.
This is pretty. Yeah.
Attaboy, that's another one.
Well, that was the other one. Attaboy.
Yeah.
When I tell you to sit down on it, you are to sit all the way down on it.
Yeah.
Now sit. Attaboy.
Yeah.
I think that's how it goes. Or one of those has some sort of monologue in it where he tells someone to sit down. And by the way, I use that line all the time now.
What?
You know, when I tell you to sit down on it, you are to sit all the way down it. In fact, I might be embellishing it a little bit.
Thinking Cock Thoughts.
No, I think that's.
Do chicks like this kind of stuff too?
I love this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I'll tell you what I like about it.
Deep.
It's so authentic.
Well, look what he says. The music is real. The sex is real. This is unapologetic.
Yeah. So
gay
there you go.
Music.
Look at that.
That's why it feels real.
Not hibernating.
Not hibernating. It's. You know what? I would rather listen to this whole album than most pop music that's being made today.
I think we did.
You know
It's
what?
so real.
Maybe Write It is the one where he tells you to sit down on it,
No.
or maybe You Are Mine.
I think it's Attaboy.
Well,
think-
I know in Attaboy he goes Attaboy. You know, yes,
Here.
put it in, put my stuff inside your mouth, Attaboy, I think, or something like that. But
I remember that the CD had like jizz dried on it, like that was part of the art.
The logo.
It was raised.
Oh
so
yeah,
you could
It
feel
felt like I think it maybe might have been. I think that was part of their bio. Was the sex is real, the semen on the CD is real.
Cool.
Oh wow.
You look hungry.
Oh, you look hungry. That sounds like
I
somebody
gotta
doing
send
this with their lips.
Chris DiStefano a copy of this album.
Well,
That's somebody blowing their lips, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're doing that against somebody's butt
I
cheeks.
have something that could satisfy that hunger.
Oh boy.
I have something right here you need.
A Snickers
shit.
bar. Snickers.
Snickers.
Oh,
That'd be funny if
yeah.
Snickers used this. You know? It's like they licensed this for their commercial.
Right here you need.
I got something that could.
Something that could satisfy that hunger.
Hell yeah.
No, but now you're killing me. That when I say sit on it,
Yeah, you sit on
I
it.
have something that
Wait,
could
what about it?
satisfy that
Now I
hunger.
gotta find the song, but
I
that's
have
it.
something right here you need.
I think it could be Write It.
It's Write It.
Try Write It.
It's Write
Yeah.
It.
When I snap my fingers, I want you to sit down on this big fucking tent pole, and I want you
Ooh.
to sit down all the way.
Yeah, you
Okay,
got
I
it.
embellished it a little bit, or changed it.
Yeah, it's memory.
But it's close.
faulty.
It's close.
No hesitation.
No
Get
hesitation.
that thing
Yeah.
lined up with that butthole, and you sit straight down all the way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's close. It's close to what I was. Yeah, it's close. I haven't heard Write It in years. In fact, I haven't jammed out to this since the 2000s. You
Dude,
know?
we gotta let's. Hey, can you order some hard copies?
And can we find these guys? Do they still exist?
I
Let's
think
reach out.
I actually think it's just one guy. I think maybe.
Oh no.
No, I think it's more.
I think that could be the same guy.
No, but in the description,
we.
I think it's
Okay, maybe it is two guys.
Hold on, there's a new CD called Tighten That Muscle.
Oh, you're right. It is. It's what is his name? Harley Phoenix and Brian
Dahl.
Dahl. Brian
We gotta
Dahl.
find these guys.
Here, let's get this thing lined up.
Well, wait. So do you did a thing called Bad Thoughts, and that's like Cock Thoughts?
Bad Thoughts is my new series that just came out on Netflix.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when she watched it, she goes, "I think you should call this show Cock Thoughts because there's so many dicks in it." And I was like, "Oh,
It's all about dick.
You said I would, but that name has been taken.
It's been taken, and I respect
Pursuit. Yeah, Pursuit. Yeah.
Wait, there's a new album you said?
So I'm reading it. It says there's a new CD, Tighten That Muscle Ring. Features collaborators such as Brian Dahl of Three Majesty, Boyd Rice. I can't even read.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. So those are the names of people that are.
The music is real. The sex is real.
Okay.
This is gay sex music that offers no apologies.
That's why I like it.
Wait, but the names we credited are not. It's like it's featuring these guys, meaning.
I think Pursuit Pursuit is one guy who got these other guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Go hit artist profile on the. On the right, yeah. See if it says anything. No.
Oh boy, I wish there were videos.
That's a good shot right there. That one shut down, or they don't do well at all.
The guidelines.
And then these other people on TikTok get millions of views on
Doing
them.
stupid shit. I know. It's the
No,
Chinese.
on my videos.
Why can't women just tell you they're just not into you instead of letting you pursue them for 6 months when you could have just stopped at the beginning? I'm not just into you.
It's a good point.
Yeah, that's a
good
that's a
point.
pretty good song actually.
It's a good song, and also, why are you ladies leading these guys on? If you're not interested, just fuck. He's trying 6 months.
I was distracted by the music. I didn't even hear the lyrics.
yeah.
You know? Can I hear the lyrics one more time?
Yeah, sure, man.
Why can't women just tell you they're just not into you instead of letting you pursue them for 6 months when you could have just stopped at the beginning? I'm not just into
you.
I relate. Yeah, women are kind of messed up in that sense. You know, that they don't kind of just they play games. You know, they're
Women
always
be playing games.
You know, they're always playing games.
Do you have a boo boo chicken pop in your life?
Did I say home say what?
Do you have a boo boo chicken pop in your life?
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. I don't know what that means, but
Do you have a
you mean
lady?
play Bop It?
Yeah, bop it with a lady. A lady friend.
We've gotten I don't have a lady friend.
Okay.
I don't. I got a full monk lifestyle right now.
Okay.
You know, I'm going full monk. You know, I watch USA.
Yeah.
You know, I hang out at the monastery. You know,
That's tight.
I play around midnight on the.
But why do you think ladies fucking?
There's a few reasons. Number one, some hoes just like the attention, and they're
Yeah.
desperate for just somebody to show them some attention. Number two, a lot of women have a hard time saying no. They don't want to hurt your feelings, so
they
they'd
don't say-
rather hurt your feelings
needs to hear
long
this.
term. Oh, sorry, sir.
Yeah.
They'd rather hurt your feelings in the long run, leading you on, and then eventually say no. It's just because they don't want to say no and hurt your feelings at the top.
Bitches be trifling, dude.
It's tough though. You know, I feel this man's pain. You know.
Yeah. Of
course.
It's hard to find a woman. You know.
Of course.
It's hard because I don't know about him, but if you're uptight like me,
Yeah.
you know, there's certain things. It's hard to find somebody.
What are you
What's
uptight
the
about?
thing? Yeah. What's the thing that like you're like
No pets.
Wow.
You know me. I don't like pets.
Yeah.
I remember I went to your house that one time. You guys had dogs. I thought,
I ain't staying here.
that's not for me.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
don't like dogs.
What's another one?
Look, I like somebody who's germophobic like me.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're germophobic like me, there's a lot of stuff you don't like. You know.
Yeah.
Pets.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
Yep.
Tattoos are not really a germ, but it feels like a germ. You know what I mean?
What about this chick?
That's my type. That's how you do it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not done. Get back up here.
I could do this so easily. Yep.
All right.
One more time. Get up. Let's go.
Okay. This is again gimp culture, kind of coming back.
Appropriated,
You know?
yeah.
She's cute too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your type.
So, do you think that guy? He's not wearing anything underneath that?
You never really know. It's always the discussion. That's why I prefer the ones when they're not wearing pants. So you can really
you see that?
Yeah, I've seen that full contact.
not wearing pants but wearing underwear, or just nothing?
Both. I've seen both.
Oh, you really? Nothing?
Yeah, and I've seen the ones where the girl, after she kicks, she grabs it, and she just like, and the guy's
really?
like, and she's like,
man.
suffer, I want to see blood.
I wonder if that hurts or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it obviously feels good to him in some way.
Right.
He has gloves
He likes
on.
suffering.
Okay, if they like that, right?
Yeah.
Get this. Okay, get this. If he likes that, and he maybe is turned on by it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gives him protection. If
What do you
he
mean?
is getting hard from this,
right.
then getting kicked in the penis or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess the balls.
Yeah, the balls.
But maybe the penis curves like the Amazon logo.
Oh, right.
And it
goes
kind of
down.
protects the balls.
Possibly.
And then he's kind of, protected by
It's
his
always-
own. It's almost like, okay, if this turns him on, it's no big whoop.
I don't know though, but you are having some form, even if you like it, of testicular trauma when that's
Even if you're blocking it with a curved.
I think
a shield with a curved shield.
Dude. I mean, she's kicking him pretty fucking
Yeah,
hard.
I
dude.
mean, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Do you think she actually does karate?
I think she's a black belt. I think
You
she's
don't
a
see
third
that?
degree black
I'm
belt.
a black belt.
Fuck yeah.
I am a black belt.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Shoot.
There's
And
no
what?
joke.
That's not the only thing I'm black.
Wow.
I don't know whatever that means.
Yeah,
I did get the black belt. I did.
In which martial art?
Tang Sudo.
Tang Sudo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
So how old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18? Goddamn.
I mean, it's just genetics from my dad.
What happened?
I mean, he's balding all over. It just goes right back.
Damn, that's
say
really
what?
bad. That's really, really bad. What products do you use?
Basic shampoos,
Wait,
Head
how's
and
this-
Shoulders, Old Spice, you know.
Well, don't use cheap products. What do you want to do today?
I just want my hairline a little hidden. So anything to hide my hairline.
Okay, are you ready for this transformation?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
He's 18, this poor boy.
Wait, hold on a second. I have to.
It's a hairdresser who's giving a consult.
This is Supercuts.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
feels like it.
Yeah. But watch this. You're going to shit your pants. So much better. So much. Now he looks 18.
He doesn't
Wait,
look
that
18.
guy was 18 before?
Yes.
Before he was 18.
Yeah.
You mean he's 18 now?
He's 18 now. He's 18
so
in
much
this video.
better.
That
Poor
is a better haircut for
baby.
him.
Yeah, he needed to cover
I like
that.
her style too.
I
She's
don't
like,
know.
God damn, you look like shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we just try that one more time? Because I just got to get a gauge of what was going on when he was older,
Here.
Okay, so
This is his.
you know
this is
what?
how he came into
I'm
the
gonna be
shop.
honest with you.
Yeah.
I like this look more.
Of course you would.
If I had to, if I had to pick.
He looks like a fucking FBI agent from the 50s.
He looks like he would be a bear trainer and bear in a bathtub.
Yeah, he
You know
kind
what
of
I'm saying?
does. Yeah.
He looks
And I
like,
like
the
that
man.
look.
He looks like the man.
But it looks
like a FBI guy.
It looks like
Yeah.
a grown, like this has an adult.
I like
look
it.
to
I like adults.
And this is a more youthful cut.
Yeah,
that is
he's
more of like a boy.
18.
Yeah.
He's more of a boy there.
And you want that man.
He went from men's to boys.
Yeah.
Or he went from men to boys, or something like that. Whatever. Yeah.
You like men.
Yeah.
You like men. I
You
like
think,
the
you
boy.
think if I sat in her chair, she'd be like, "What the fuck, man? You ain't got no hair." I know. What happened?
What happened to you?
She's
He's
kind of.
seen something in me
Oh,
that
more-
kind of was like, you should be a pup. And it was just, honestly, it was the most amazing thing to know that, to tell my husband, to be really vulnerable with my husband about something, basically saying, I'm about to show you my search history, which is effectively what I was doing. And he was like, yeah, no, that tracks. Yeah, go for it. Let's do it. Let's go to the shop and get one, And it was like, that's amazing. And he very quickly said, I think you should make videos. Because he said, like, you need to see yourself doing this. And he made a few videos of me just kind of in the house, just sort of snaffling around, like I was like this, just around, I was sort of nuzzling around stuff, discovering how to be a pup. And he said, like, I'm going to film this. I'm going to make a video. Yeah.
Boy.
Attaboy. That's an attaboy right there. That's what you call an attaboy.
Good pop, sorry.
You see,
Yeah, wow.
as somebody who doesn't like pets, I would maybe be a little more into this.
This would be your pet.
Well, just because I feel like you can kind of, I feel like this requires less maintenance than a pet, and
for sure.
it's not going to shed as much.
But you still got to be a good owner.
You got to be a good owner, but it's not going to shed as much.
You can
and also,
train. You can train too differently.
And it shits in the toilet.
Yeah, it goes. That's better. And then also,
Hi, I'm Ethan Strauss, and welcome to Random Offense, my new interactive show on two-way TV, tackling the cultural flashpoints that spark debate across the sports world.
The politics thing is an interesting one.
We have to have an argument about Tyreek Hill's legacy every single week.
We invite you to dig deeper, challenge assumptions, and join a conversation that traditional sports media rarely dares to have.
Like, there's no difference between people who don't care about you and people who hate you.
The future of the business doesn't look particularly promising.
Random Offense builds on my experience with ESPN and The Athletic, serving as a springboard, a step forward, and an evolution in how we engage with sports culture.
One of the things that kind of bothers me about the NBA is the obsession with who's sitting courtside.
We commit to thoughtful honesty, covering the fun, the daily dust-ups, and the deeper issues legacy media won't touch. Don't just take my word for it, though. Here's Bob Costas.
You and I have never met in person. The only reason I sought you out was that you stand out.
Random Offense is like nothing I've done before, because you can join the show. Catch the show live Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern / 1 p.m. Pacific, or watch anytime you like after that on YouTube and two-way. Subscribe early and ring the bell so you never miss a moment.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And best-in-class highway fuel economy that's down for wherever. And a family that's down for mostly whatever. And Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Its butt is probably wiped, and it's not just getting their dirty, unwiped butt on stuff, such as furniture and so forth. You know?
Yeah. So
And so if a woman kind of knows what's up with that, that could work.
That could work. We have a...
Hold on, though. Not a lot of women are into pub play. I don't think I've seen one woman.
You don't think
this has actually been exclusively 100% male? Yeah.
No. Oh,
it's
that's
the
too
weirdest,
bad.
especially when they put their tails in.
She wouldn't want to. Now the tail, wouldn't that go inside the butt?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does. It goes inside the butt.
Yeah, that's how you get.
Yeah.
It's a real big day for the pups when they get their
they get their tail.
Yeah.
Anytime a puppy barks, a gimp gets his tail.
That's right.
It's something like
That's
that.
the saying.
That's right.
Everybody
That's
knows.
the saying. I think it's a wonderful gimp. Look like Demi Moore, kind of.
There will be no satanic church in my hill, Del Cerro. There will be no 8-story complex, apartment complex in Del Cerro. No.
Eyes on the road.
She's driving.
Yep.
Oh, is there going to be an accident happening?
I thought there was
didn't
about
happen.
to be. No.
It kind of looked like Demi Moore a little bit,
No,
though.
she's pretty. She's really.
You don't think Demi Moore, though?
I could be her. I don't know.
I think that could be Demi Moore.
Could be.
Could be.
Making some cool TikToks.
You just reminded me that there could have been an accident, so I got something to show you.
Uh-oh. Poo-poo time?
No. It's basically
Shoot.
horrible or
Damn, you
hilarious.
got me all oh, really?
Yeah, you just tell me whether you think it's funny or not.
Puputa?
I thought there was going to be some... Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. No, thanks.
Uranus.
I mean...
No.
I guess if
the castle.
nobody got hurt...
That guy's
it's-
definitely hurt. He's real hurt bad.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if he was not wearing pants, hilarious. You know?
Yes, that
But
would have been funny.
right now horrible.
Pretty horrible.
But if he was protecting himself, kind of Amazon style,
Yeah.
then that's hilarious.
He hit the shit out of that guy.
That's kind of pretty horrible.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
have to
pretty
say. I think I'd say horrible. You think it was
I
horrible?
hate
Horrible.
it.
Yeah, horrible. Yeah,
I hate it.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, if
This is hilarious. Her reaction's hilarious.
Well, I hate this. This is just human suffering.
I get
It's just
this.
not-
If it is horrible. If he did ejaculate when that happened,
Yeah.
and he was into it,
then
it maybe is hilarious.
Yes. He should have had a seatbelt on.
You know what?
Yeah.
It was horrible.
That's what the lesson is.
It was horrible.
Yeah. All right, one more. You might like this one, Gene.
I won't. Oh no! Oh no!
no.
I don't like it.
Come on!
Fuck off! Fuck off!
That was the easiest one though, compared to the other ones,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, that was the easiest, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, for us, for you, right? Easiest, right? Hey. Oh no!
You might like
It was horrible.
That's what the lesson is.
It was horrible. then it maybe is hilarious.
Yes. Yes. He should have had a seatbelt.
Was into it.
Like this. This is just.
Oh no.
This is
if it, you know, or.
Oh no. I don't like it.
Come on.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
That was the easiest one though. Right?
Now
with Coolier.
Same stupid shit.
Thailand, and it's a ritual we do. We believe there's power in it. There's stem cells in it. There's iron. There's vitality, and so yeah. And the moon blood actually
on it.
Put salt, fat cake.
You mean her? I probably wouldn't.
Cool.
These, 25 year huge. And I'm gonna get rum. Go there. Gonna go.
Wait.
Better time.
I would go.
No, the thing is, super at hotels in Rason. Actually, it's the best hotel in Rason.
This is in North Korea.
And one of the things that makes it super fun and super cool is how retro it is. You can sit down and
probably.
So, luckily the heating pole is
Which felt like the most other
up and you can out. Come on, the hot you want. Someone's on this stage. Now we you're.
How much should good car insurance cost you a month? $80? $120? Nope.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael and I've been battling enemies against myself and each other in this spot outside the Imperial City every day for over a week straight. Quite the life I lead. Today on Fudge Muppet, we're asking who is the strongest enemy in Oblivion and why is it this rat? Just kidding, maybe. We'll see. In this video, you will discover the strongest foe and all of the most powerful contenders as we explore just how out of control and deadly they become. There's definitely some high-ranking enemies almost no one will see coming. Oblivion's leveling system seems as if it was concocted by Sheogorath, the Mad God himself, because as you get more powerful, you kind of get weaker relative to some other opponents. For the most part, being a low level in Oblivion is actually pretty chill. If you venture into the woods, you'll run into an angry wolf or a pesky imp, but at very high levels, you can venture into the exact same area and be met by a vicious bear whose health has been scaled up dramatically to a tank-like state. It's no problem if you've built your character well, but if you've been more casual with your leveling, it's going to be a struggle. Thankfully, Oblivion has a difficulty slider you can change on the fly in emergencies. At the easiest, enemies deal 1/6 of their normal damage and you deal 6 times as much to them, but on the hardest setting, it's reversed, though summoned creatures are not affected in this way. Let's talk parameters. We'll be using the neutral difficulty setting where everyone's damage is as it was designed to be. However, sometimes I'll modify the difficulty setting temporarily to gain more insight into two seemingly equally matched foes. I'm also wearing Umbra's armor and shield while wielding the Umbra sword. I could have used high level enchanted armor at level 50, but I didn't want to mess with the results by having reflect damage enchantments and other things that might give certain enemy types an edge over others. But you're playing as a warrior, you might say. Well, I also did these experiments as an archer and as a strong mage to see the differences, but overall it didn't change much. My setup is pretty well rounded in general, even using an Imperial instead of another race like Bretons who may have a more powerful innate resistance. I also utilized a reasonable healing spell, as spells or potions would be very commonplace among high level players. Another parameter I used was not using specialized damage methods specific to quest items to weaken enemies and make them easier, as I wanted to fight them all on an even playing field. Also keep in mind that the winner today is based on performance, not stats. Sometimes the AI of a certain foe, like the spectral mud crab, is just terrible, and while they're tanky, it's just so easy to dodge their attacks and kill them. There's no use in crowning a meat shield winner if they have no shot at killing you. Some enemies are unexpectedly aggressive or are really good at making you stagger or dodging attacks, so all of this is taken into account. I'm also assuming saying that at level 50, the player is competent at the game controls and is relatively skilled at combat as a result. Therefore, there may be some slight subjective elements in the rankings if I find an enemy easy to dodge and run circles around, but someone else doesn't. As a final parameter, the strongest enemy in Oblivion has to be an actual enemy. Certain NPCs or entities are just not meant to be fought. Mehrunes Dagon, for example, is an enemy you're not supposed to be able to kill or not supposed to fight. I know I killed him as a kid with some crazy enchanted arrow exploit to have insane levels of damage, but outside of that it's not really going to happen unless you use a specific workaround with Wabberjack or use console commands. When he dies, he kind of just melts into the ground, but it's not supposed to happen, and funnily enough, the same thing happens when you get a knockdown effect on him. You can see just how glitchy and borderline cursed messing with Dagon or multiple Dagons can look. You can tell I had fun making this video. Another NPC who isn't an enemy but could be theorized as the strongest is Sheogorath, because if you attack his 10,000 point health bar, he teleports you above punishment point where you fall to your doom. Not even God mode protects you from death. But let's get into the real contenders, enemies who are supposed to be battled. The craziest enemies in Oblivion have their level and damage and health based on equations that involve your level. This might look something like 10 multiplied by your level minus 5. So if your level is 50, it's 10 times 45, which is 450 health. Quite hefty and more deadly when applied to damage equations. If you're wondering where I pull enemy stats from, I'm doing it with the getav console command. In general, testing humanoid enemies was quite different to fighting monsters, as some of them have much better movement and can feel tougher when they have enchanted weapons, the ability to disarm you, knock you down with backwards power attacks, or just have a shield, which they'll use to bash you away and cause stagger. We'll explore this category first. Testing these opponents against each other provided a lot of insight into their power levels, but ultimately it was multiple fights against me which determined the true winners. One decently strong opponent is the Blackwood Company Guard found in Glade Mist Cave during the Fighters Guild quest Information Gathering. While you're level 50, he's going to have 400 points of health and is garbed in Daedric armor wielding Daedric weaponry. He can also use a Blackwood shield, though doesn't always wear greaves, leaving him less protected. His boss level blunt weapon may also be enchanted. He proved to be a harder fight than any standard high level bandit or marauder in the game. Remember, this was all tested while my character was level 50. However, the Blackwood Guard still couldn't dish out enough damage to make me worried, and he also failed the rat test. That is to say, the secret powerful rat we'll end up discussing killed him pretty easily with constant stagger and aggression to match. A tankier NPC I battled against is known as Curdans or Kunta. So there's this side quest where you get lured to a fort that certain individuals have paid to be in to enjoy hunting you. At level 50, this Orc Hunter will have 412 health and a full set of Daedric armor, including a Daedric shield and mace. He seems just as aggressive as the Blackwood Guard, but harder to kill than just 12 extra health points. I'd say it's due to the extra armor and the shield. Sadly for him, he just couldn't damage me fast enough to be a true challenge. With shorter reach than a sword due to his mace, he was more like a massive meaty annoyance, and that just doesn't cut it for top rankings. The enemies on this list almost always have high enough weapon skills to cause knockdowns, and in the next case I can confirm 100 in all melee weapon skills, as well as heavy armor block, athletics, and hand-to-hand. This vicious foe is Umbra, a well-known enemy that many would remember being a challenging boss battle. Umbra comes in a full set of ebony, wielding the Umbra sword, which has the highest base damage of any one-handed weapon in the game. She has 394 points of health and 338 points of fatigue, which is Oblivion's word for stamina, granting her near constant power attacks, which she's very good at. Despite her slightly lower health, having a strong sword and effective AI means that Umbra would defeat the previous two enemies in most of their battles and proved tougher for me than they did. She also has a restore health ability which heals 2 points per second, not much, but every bit counts when you're dealing with deadly fighters. Umbra is also super fast, having 100 speed, and she's tough with 100 strength and 100 endurance. Ultimately, she is a good fighter, however, similarly to the other two, she doesn't seem to have enough raw damage output to truly worry me. I feel like enchanted weapons really go a long way, but the Umbra sword only has a soul trap effect, so no extra damage. Again, I'd rate her AI very highly, it's just DPS that's missing. Also, Menkar Cameron is one enemy that some might expect to be quite strong at high levels, as his health is based on your level. However, it still doesn't work out particularly high, only reaching 247. That said, his magicka is 450 and he comes with a lot of natural abilities. In addition to the plus 50 magicka from a custom birth sign, his race grants him plus 100 magicka, 75% resist disease, and a drawback 25% weakness to fire, frost, and shock, but then he somehow has Nord bonuses, in particular 50% resist frost and 50% resist shock. He then has the Breton racial bonus of 50% resist magic, and his custom birth sign also delivers Fortify Sneak 100 points, so you can't be stealthy against him. It also grants reflect damage 25%, reflect spell 25%, spell absorption 25%, and shield 25 points, not to mention his robe has 10% reflect damage and 20 points of spell absorption. On top of that, he also has the standard mage birth sign, giving him plus 50 magicka. He seemed a popular choice online for a tough opponent, but he's not strong enough to make it into the very top ranks of this video. His raw damage output isn't that high, and if you're quick to kill him, you can get him into a stagger and stop him from healing or casting other protective spells. He wastes plenty of time with his kind of weak staff instead of using his higher damage destruction spells, although one hard part is the reflect damage that he has. That's what mostly drops my health bar. He also doesn't fight hyper aggressively, and while he can summon a Storm Atronach, heal, silence you, and has that leveled destruction spell, it somehow sounds so much more dangerous on paper than in reality. Don't get me wrong, he's still more likely to kill you than Umbra, but he's not out of this world dangerous. If any other enemies pop into your mind as you're watching, you'll just have to trust that I've almost definitely tested it, but I couldn't cover hundreds of foes in one video without it being way too long. One conditional enemy that you only fight if you side with the Dark Seducers in the Shivering Isles DLC is the Golden Saint named Ormazul Kane. She fights competently against all the humanoid enemies mentioned so far and seems better at dealing damage than most of them when fighting me. She has more health than Umbra, having 424 HP, and her use of magic in addition to a sword and shield makes fighting her feel a bit like fighting Umbra but with spells. She has 100 in the blade and block skills and can cast a variety of Golden Saint spells and seems to prefer ranged shock damage. But the two strongest enemies in the humanoid category are actually Frath and Drathan, and 2 of the 5 afflicted brethren. That said, Frathan can sometimes feel very easy if he has a poor setup. Even Menkar can feel stronger in the right conditions, particularly if you're playing as an archer, but overall Frathan has better blocking capabilities and aggressive AI, meaning that instead of just soaking up sword swings, he'll probably block and then send out a backwards power attack, potentially knocking you down, and if his sword is enchanted, perhaps setting you on fire. But let's cover the afflicted brethren first, because there's actually 5 in the game, and they're the Azura worshippers who ended up as vampires locked in Gutted Mine. Of the 5, only the 2 orcs make the cut for this video, and only if they're using an enchanted weapon, which they have a chance of wielding. Using a note from one of the bodies, we can find their true names to be Gola Gromazgol and Uma Grakar. For the male, Gola, he seems strongest with a fire damage Daedric sword and a shield, and the female, Uma, with a frost damage Daedric warhammer. Both of these orcs fight incredibly well, and defeated the other NPCs we've mentioned more often than not. The warhammer wielding female orc Uma has 375 health, and the male orc's health is 422. That said, Uma actually casts spells, having destruction and restoration capabilities. Similarly to what enchantment she gets, if she gets one, her spell choice can make a big difference. I find her to be most deadly with not only a frost enchanted warhammer, but also a leveled frost or shock damage spell, be it area based or just a standard projectile. They deal solid damage and just give her more capability on top of her already highly aggressive AI, knockdown capabilities, and powerful gear. Both of these orcs are wearing Daedric armor pieces, and they're also vampires, which can alter various resistances and stats also. But wait, there's more. All of the afflicted brethren have this innate group of powerful buffs, which make them tougher than you'd expect. We're talking 30 points extra of shield, of health, of strength, of speed, of blade, of blunt, and even of luck. And then 20 extra points of agility. There's just no doubt these 2 orcs end up quite the menace, as many important skills like blade and blunt end up at 130. The other opponent we must talk about is a rogue Telvanni mage, a Dunmer named Frathan Drathan. Many Elder Scrolls fans may not know of him as he was not part of the main game, Knights of the Nine, or the Shivering Isles DLC. Instead, he featured in the Mehrunes Razor DLC, acting as the leader of the Drothmeri army. This is a group of rebel-type operators who seek to undermine the Empire. Frathan is searching tirelessly for the Razor, and you eventually end up fighting him while trying to get the artifact for yourself. While you're level 50, Drathan will be wearing glass gauntlets and boots and wielding a sword, be it a Daedric longsword or a Daedric claymore. These can be enchanted, and despite being a magic user, he is particularly good at melee combat and has pretty high DPS and competent fighting patterns. His robes and hood are unique, granting him at the highest levels 15% reflect damage, 15% resist normal weapons, 17% shield, 15% reflect spell, 15% magic resistance, and 15 points of spell absorption. He's not the tankiest of foes with 245 health and not much armor, but there's no benefit to being as tanky as some of the previous contestants if you can't churn out some damage. Frathan definitely does dish out damage fast, especially if his sword comes with a 20-point shock damage enchantment, not to mention he'll be turning your own damage back on you. He conjures Daedra as well, and I must say to rank him for this video, I'd be going with the Storm Atronach or a Claymore-wielding Dremora as his most useful summon. Against other enemies we've talked about, he may win or lose, but he's much harder for the actual player to fight, which is what we're talking about today. His use of spells also increases his DPS capabilities. He seems to cause a lot of stagger, and with him and his summon getting up in your face at the same time, things can be quite annoying. So as far as humanoid contestants go, it can look neck and neck with Frathan and any one of the Afflicted Brethren orcs, so long as they all spawn with their most optimal setups. But I actually scaled up the difficulty to the 3/4 point to escalate things and pick a winner. Fighting Frathan was like playing Dark Souls, and it legitimately took me 20 minutes to kill him in this open green area where I had room to run away from him and his Dremora, and I constantly had to heal every time I hit him because it would reflect damage on myself massively, and then the only way to kill him was to hope to paralyze him with a front moving power attack once his Dremora disappeared, constantly slash his paralyzed body, then run away and heal while trying to dodge as many of his powerful destruction spells as I could. Funnily enough, I got surprisingly good at dodging and Oblivion combat in general as a side effect of all this research. So Frathan was almost impossible to beat with this setup. However, when I used the same difficulty setting against any of the Orc Afflicted Brethren, it was simply impossible to win the fight with the setup picked for this video. Their melee attacks took off ridiculous chunks of my health bar, not to mention they start the battle with an invisibility spell. Furthermore, the female Orc had a ranged shock spell stronger than any of her frost options I'd seen earlier, which took off about 75% of my health bar in a single blast. Her and Frathan could also heal, which was very frustrating. I think that all round this makes the female Afflicted Brethren the strongest humanoid NPC, especially against all varieties of builds. As a warrior, the male Orc Gola was actually harder for me to kill on this difficulty, but if we account for all build types, a fast archer could just run away from him for a long time and make him a pincushion for ages, whereas Uma has ranged capabilities of deadly magnitude to fight back. I suppose this gives her the ultimate crown of this category. But enough of these NPCs, Michael. Where do all the creatures, monsters, Daedra, and even gods fit into this? Well, let's put that difficulty back to neutral and see what we can deduce. As for animals, there's generally nothing too scary. One worth mentioning is a special bear called the West-Wheeled Brown Bear Den Hunter. This is the strongest variant of this bear encountered during the quest called Bear Season. It has 550 points of health, 325 fatigue, and deals 70 points of melee damage per strike. This damage is absolutely massive. However, I found the bear's AI to be easy enough to dodge and move away from, and the actual reach of the bear's swipes is not that far. It was still able to defeat the Blackwood Company Guard, one of the lower ranking NPCs we've examined so far. And now it's time to shine some light on the mystery. Weighing in at level 40 with a massive 800 points of health and 1000 points of fatigue, we have the infamous, the one and only Rat. So there's this one particular rat you can find in the Skingrad Manor basement of a Breton noble named Lazar Milvan. For whatever reason, this rat was left here by the developers with health and damage output that increase with your level. With plenty of speed and crazy amounts of stagger, this rodent dishes out 23 points of damage per bite. Now, I've been able to kill it without too much of a problem, so it won't be going home with the gold medal today, but it sure is aggressive, and if you do happen to stagger way too many times, you can very well meet your end. The rat can often win against all the NPCs mentioned so far, although he loses most of the battles against some of the strongest ones, like the Afflicted Brethren, that Golden Saint, Menkar, and Frathendrathan, but only the latter two because their conjured companions draw away damage. I'd rank this rat around the same level as Umbra, honestly, which is pretty wild. Looking at creatures in general, remember they're not wearing armor, and therefore they can sound way tankier than some NPCs, despite feeling similar in terms of how long it takes to deplete their health. I'm sure Minotaur Lords spring into many Elder Scrolls fans' minds. These massive man-bull beasts come in swinging their ebony warhammers with health 22 times the player's level. At level 50, this means we're looking at 1,100 health points, and they have a special headbutt attack which causes 25 points of damage health, disintegrates armor on touch, and grants them immunity to silence. You don't want to get hit by that, especially with their forward power attacks which can cause paralysis, but their normal attacks definitely feel similar to some of the lower ranking NPCs discussed earlier. They're also not as fast or aggressive as these NPCs, meaning that while they're a hefty meat shield, they're definitely not the biggest threats for a well-equipped character. However, there is an unarmed Minotaur Lord variant which is actually much stronger. Due to the level scaling, the unarmed attacks can end up at 49 points of damage, and the Minotaur seems better at unleashing them than their Warhammer swings. Overall, this makes the unarmed Minotaur Lord rank higher, and definitely the only Minotaur to deserve a spot in this video, being a bit tougher than the Westworld Bear and able to defeat the rat most of the time. That said, this Minotaur is still slow enough for the player to outmaneuver, and I'd rather fight it than the rat simply because of this. A fight against the Minotaur Lord is only tight if it staggers you and gets multiple hits off in quick succession. Similar to the Minotaurs in the sense that they're strong but have movement that's easy to dodge are ogres and trolls. Standard ogres have leveled stats, so when you're level 50 their health is 1,222, with melee strikes dealing about 45 damage each. Ogres can really get you staggering and take ages to kill, but if you just stand still, wait for them to begin an attack and then start running backwards, it's pretty easy to avoid damage. A strong variant is the Redguard Valley Ogre Chieftain from the Sins of the Father quest, which has 1,060 health, but each melee strike deals about 61 damage. Very lethal. It also miraculously has 13,250 fatigue points. Ogres could defeat Frathendrathan easily, though against my actual character, I still find Frathen to be harder simply due to having better movement and striking patterns. As for trolls, the Painted Troll from the A Brush with Death quest really packs a punch, dealing 37 damage per strike and possessing 1,250 health and 2,250 fatigue. I'd say their combat AI is a bit better than ogres, but it's still easy enough to learn and fight against compared to humanoid enemies. The Kalpaclan and Azclan trolls from the Tidewater Cave area where you go for Nocturnal's quest are also competent enough, with 40 damage per strike and 1,000 points of health and 2,500 points of fatigue. Just to make a point, I could easily defeat these monsters when turning the difficulty up to the 3/4 point, just with dodging and striking and being patient. Compare that to it being extremely tough against Frathen and impossible against the Afflicted Brethren with the same setting. As for undead, liches are of course an enemy that seem to be a nuisance for high level players. Your standard lich can become more of a threat than any foe mentioned so far, but only if they spawn with the best setup, which is rare. They need to have a strong destruction staff and or favor a very strong destruction spell. The problem with many liches, particularly unique ones like Lorgar and Benerus, is that they will prefer casting their weak staff over and over while you kill them, or they stick to weaker spells for whatever reason. Sometimes you get unlucky though, and a standard lich will spawn with a shock staff that does 35 points of damage for 2 seconds, so 70 damage pretty quick, and a destruction spell that does a similar amount. They can be easy to dodge and slash at times, but if they get you, they'll kill you incredibly fast. The strongest lich I found tended to be the King of Miskarkand, in the sense that it seemed to spawn with the better setups, and has slightly more health than a standard lich, coming in at 765 HP. Liches also have resistances and special buffs. Reflect Spell 25%, Resist Disease 100%, Resist Frost 100%, Resist Magic 25%, Resist Poison 100%, Spell Absorption 25%, Water Walking but a weakness to fire of 25%. Throw on top of that thou summon something to distract you and be pesky, and it's a deadly mix. Sometimes the King of Miscarcand can spawn with a Drain Magicka staff, which actually makes him deadlier because then it forces him to rapidly cast his offhand destruction spell, which can be really strong over and over to deal damage. Do remember, a poorly set up Lich doesn't even belong in this video at all. Wraiths can also be tough if they cause stagger, but they're also an easy enemy to run circles around and dodge and slash and stagger. Two notable ones would be the Sanctified Ancient Spectre and Gable the Traitor, who both have over 1000 health, as does a leveled Gloom Wraith, but I just can't place them anywhere super significant, as similar to Ogres, their AI is just not good enough, and they're usually really slow movers too. As for Common Daedra, the non-unique variants end up weak. I tested Clanfears, Daedroths, Atronachs, Zivali, Dremora, anything you can think of. Even the Storm Atronach, the Sunken one, was easy enough to defeat. Anaxes, a hand-to-hand fighting Zivali from Mankar Cameron's Realm of Paradise, is strong for what he is, but can easily be defeated in the same way you'd fight off a Minotaur Lord. Only two specific variants stood out as being worthy of mention. The first is a special clan fear only found during Vaymina's Daedric quest in Arkved's Lost Halls. Its health levels with you ending up at 867. Its damage levels also getting to about 56. Like all clan fears, it has a 20% weakness to shock, but reflects 20% damage back at you and has a 33% resistance to fire. They truly are the rats of Oblivion, and like the powerful rat in this video, clan fears cause a lot of stagger, meaning that this particularly strong clan fear ranks about equally with an afflicted brethren. Turn up the difficulty to 75% and it creams you pretty fast. Same goes for a special mended flesh Atronach. This one variant is only found in certain locations and comes with 500 health, basic healing capabilities, fire and damage health spells, but solid melee damage of 51 points. It has 30% fire resistance, 30 spell absorption, 25% reflect spell, full resistance to poison, and 30% weakness to shock. While it may sound weaker than the clan fear stats wise, it's actually tougher as it also causes stagger and is even better at connecting a flurry of melee attacks together, pushing your health bar down fast. We've covered a lot of ground so far, so what else is there? Well, if we were to make a top 10 list, or a top 11 list I guess, I'd be starting with Frathan Drathan at 11, and then the Afflicted Brethren and this powerful clan fear just making it into position numbers 9 and 10. So long as the clan fear doesn't have a bad day and lands its usual amount of staggers, I'd call it a tie in terms of how difficult it is to win against. Then in position number 8, I'd put a beast from the Shivering Isles known as the Gnarl Elder. This tree-like entity has 816 health points, 720 fatigue, and deals 46 damage per melee strike. It also casts a silent spell that somehow seems harder to dodge than those cast by wraiths. This spell also deals 25 points of damage health and can be quite a hassle if you're a mage, although if you can avoid being silenced, the Gnarl's weakness is found in using lots of different elemental attacks. When hit by one, the Gnarl grows bigger and becomes resistant to that element, but it becomes weak to other elements which you can use to deal more damage. The Gnarl Elder causes plenty of stagger against you too, but the one downfall is that its movement patterns are not too difficult to predict, so you can dodge its attacks. I'm not saying it's as easy to cheese as an ogre, but it's a similar principle, and if we're talking top 10 enemies, then it's a drawback here. In spot 7, we're actually fighting against Umriel the Unfeathered, the final boss in the Knights of the Nine DLC. Born of an Ayleid mother and a divine father, Umriel has the power to drop your health bar very fast. He wields a claymore that he can swing in one hand, but its exact damage is hard to figure out because it's technically a different item to the one you actually pick up when you kill him. Still, I can tell you that in one swipe, he dropped my health by 83 points. This includes the shock damage that his sword deals, and it also damages fatigue, meaning that if your fatigue drops below 0 because he hits you after you've unleashed a bunch of power attacks, you actually fall down and give him even more opportunity to do a 3/ combo on you. He's got 33% resistance to magic and another 33% resistance to fire and 100% resistance to shock. Your saving grace is that despite having high DPS, Umriel only has 460 health, which is why he didn't rank higher, as you can kill him quite fast if if you fight well enough. Remember, he doesn't have actual armor like Daedric for additional protection. A final drawback of his is casting his spell too often, when he should just focus on slashing. Called Mortal Light, this spell does 3 points of damage magicka and shock damage for 14 seconds on the target. In rank number 6, we actually have a perfectly set up King of Miskarkhand or a perfectly set up Standard Lich. They're almost exactly the same thing, and there's no need to go over their powerful stats again. Just remember that while a Lich can sometimes be staggered lots with a flurry of standard attacks, if they do have that awesome strong staff, strong destruction spell set up, they can turn you to dust very fast. In position number 5, we actually have that specific Mended Flesh Atronach we talked about just before. I've already covered its stats, but let me just reiterate how much this abomination can stagger you and link up devastating combos and even chase you down with fairly accurate jumping attacks. It seems to kill me as fast as Umaril, but is a bit harder to kill and has the capacity to heal itself with magic. Position 4 is really interesting, almost tied with position 3, so keep that in mind. Perhaps you even find it to be stronger if you do some level 50 battle experimentation. Introducing another one of Sheogorath's pets, the Elytra Matron. The standard variant of the Elytra Matron would rank in this exact spot, but for the purposes of not having 2 matrons in the top 10, there's another matron that's about 5% harder to kill, only found in a particular spot. This beast has 700 HP, 850 fatigue, and 2 spells, Mystic Venom and Mystic Death. The Venom ranged attack causes 3 points of damage health for 15 seconds for a total of 45 damage, as well as 2 points of damage magicka for 15 seconds, totaling 30. Mystic Death is touch-based and does 1 point of damage health and magicka, but for 100 seconds, totaling 100 damage to each attribute, of course. The Elytra Matron has 50% poison resistance and 20% weakness to magic, and interestingly can walk on water, so don't think you'll be escaping across the river so easily. However, its main advantage is actually its long-reaching melee attacks, dealing 41 points of damage and causing frequent stagger. A Matron can actually unleash 4 or 5 of these in quick succession if you're unlucky, and they can hit from further away than you'd expect. The Matron can also competently block melee strikes and has leaping attacks also for when you try to run. I've seen the Matron absolutely destroy the next enemy on this list, although the battle can go either way, and I'd say that based on the player experience, I'm gonna have to give the bronze medal to Jiggalag today. Jiggalag is the antagonist of the Shivering Isles DLC and quite literally a god. He is the Daedric Prince of Order, and Sheogorath has you fight against him to stop the Grey March and save the Shivering Isles from total destruction. I find it funny that he's almost on the same level as a big angry bug from the Isles, but I guess he still came out on top just for being a bit harder for the actual player to fight. Jiggalag has a hefty 1000 points of health, 250 magicka, 1250 fatigue, 4 resistance to paralysis, 20% resistance to magicka, and 50% resistance to poison. He has a huge two-handed sword that he can swing in just one hand, dealing 57 melee damage per strike. He frequently casts a 45 point damage shock spell that affects a 10-foot area, and in many ways he's a bit like a bigger, stronger version of Umaril the Unfeathered. He can string together a flurry of high damage attacks, and his long legs make him a fast mover who is hard to get away from. He has an ability that lets him constantly regenerate 5 points of health, and then a wildcard spell known as Touch of Order. He doesn't use this too much, but what it does do is send out 12 points of frost damage in a 15-foot area for 3 seconds, while absorbing 16 points of health from the target, and most importantly, it throws its targets to the ground. Being knocked down and unable to dodge, block, or fight back against Jiggalag can quickly mean game over. But what's stronger than a god? How about a fish? Coming in at spot number 2, we have the giant slaughterfish from the Arrow of Extrication quest in the Thieves Guild storyline. As a child, this moment scared me quite a bit, and to this day I still feel a bit cautious as I swim down into the deep of the Breville Wizard's Grotto. Being in water, this battle is different to all the other battles, but if the parameters for this video involve looking at what foe is the biggest challenge for the player, then we've got to include it. If you try to spawn the giant slaughterfish with console commands, it appears much smaller and just flops hops about on land, but in its natural environment, in the water, we'll fight this hulking fish with 1,000 points of health that deals 35 points of damage with each attack. It often swims in a circle after each strike, coming back to deal more damage, stag you, which it's great at, and then kind of swim away and then come back for more. Arrows aren't too useful underwater, as you'd expect. Ranged spells can't be used, and melee attacks are limited to standard strikes. No master level power attacks to paralyze or expert knockdown strikes will function down here. Now, I'm not saying the giant slaughterfish is unkillable on level 50, but with the set character that I used to experiment for this video, it was very hard. Even with unlimited water breathing potions, high damage touch based spells which do work underwater, my healing spell, and the Umbra sword swinging as fast as I could, this fish was near impossible to take down. The way I felt fighting it was that I couldn't afford to miss more than one swing or touch damage spell as I tried frantically to end its health bar before it ended mine. Put it this way, of anything mentioned so far, which are mainly fought on neutral difficulty unless I need more insight, the giant slaughterfish is the biggest challenge of the lot. And yes, it's because you have to fight it in the water, but I can't see why that shouldn't count. However, there is one final enemy to talk about, a gargantuan monster who has become as iconic as he is hard to kill. Coming into first place, we have none other than the mighty Gatekeeper. I absolutely love this flesh magic creation, and I'd highly recommend you check out my video I did all about flesh magic, linked in the description below. But what makes the Gatekeeper the strongest? Well, like the other high-ranking enemies, the Gatekeeper can land hits in quick succession, dealing 58 damage per strike, so it's definitely enough to smash you to bits. But the main problem here is that in addition to plenty of damage coming at you, with long reach I might also add, the Gatekeeper's health constantly regenerates 20 points per second to be exact, so even if you paralyzed him, which you can't because he has full resistance, power attack after power attack will still not wear him down that fast. In fact, the best strategy seems to be an onslaught of standard attacks at his knees and just pray he staggers endlessly. The thing is though, you may get off to a good start with staggers and take his health down a massive 30% before he's even touched you, but before you know it, before you can kill him, he slashes you into a constant stream of staggers, or worse, throws you away with this touch spell, and by the time you pick yourself up and dust yourself off, he's almost back to full health. His total health acts quite weird. When you first meet him in the Shivering Isles and see him fighting off a bunch of warriors, he actually has 1800 HP, but when you're doing the quest about killing him, he has 800 health when you go to battle him. Obviously 1800 HP just makes him super overpowered, but even if we use 800 as the measurement, he still easily makes it into position number 1. He also has a 75% resistance to magic if regaining 20 health constantly wasn't bad enough, and his fatigue is 750. His lifeless touch spell not only throws you through the air and to the ground, but also damages 18 points of health for 3 seconds. This all adds up. There's just no doubt this Guardian of the Shivering Isles is the hardest enemy to beat, with high damage that often staggers you, plenty of health, damage health spells with knockdown effects, and freakishly fast health regen. What's stronger than this isn't technically an enemy you're supposed to fight, but it's the second Gatekeeper that you rebuild in the Shivering Isles plot, which has 11,340 health, 1,260 magicka, and 34,650 fatigue. Just ridiculous. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this video on the strongest enemy in Oblivion. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and appreciate how much testing went into it, and please let me know your most dreaded enemy in Oblivion in the comments. Subscribe for more Elder Scrolls content. Social media links are in the description, as is a link to our merch if you want to buy an awesome Fudge Muppet tee and help support our content. I'm Michael from Fudge Muppet, and I look forward to nerding out with you again very soon.
People go to restaurants to be taken care of, to relax, to not have to think about anything else for a minute.
The clock is telling you how much money we have left. When that shows 0, this restaurant needs to cease operations.
Okay, buongiorno tutti!
It's hard and it's brutal, and that's what makes it special.
I'm fired up, ready to go. I'm saying.
Showtime!
I get it, you know, chaos and turmoil, but it's a problem when you're letting it fuel you and fuel the food.
We need to not miss, guys.
The offerings were
Substantially different on each visit.
Consistency seems to be the weak link here.
Just breathe.
Look, we could do this. We could take care of people. We could make it calm. We could make it delicious. We can make people happy.
I don't want you to hide from things. Welcome Just to the because you horse. We have.
Hi, Bear.
I don't want this place to be chaos. You know that, right?
If I'm making direct eye contact, come to me.
How do I know that you're looking at me? Because it's looking right at you. Well, I got it. Okay.
I can feel you chasing something, but you ain't got nothing to prove.
Sometimes your work family is closer to you than your family.
How about this? Upon my signal, unleash hell.
There's one really true thing about restaurants.
System, baby.
You are never alone.
Looks elegant, right? No, just don't. Just stand right here. Yeah. Put your hands down and walk like a G. There you go, Neil.
Here's how I cut my insurance bill in half from $170 to just $85 a month. I've been using the same car insurance since I got my first car. No tickets, no claims, but my rates just kept going up every single year for no reason. I tried everything to bring down my insurance costs, but nothing worked for me like Jerry. With Jerry, I put in my car information only once, and Jerry compared quotes with different companies in just a few minutes. I purchased a policy directly with the app without having to deal with a spam call or long forms. It's fast, easy, and you don't need to waste hours comparing quotes from different companies. Jerry has already helped over 4 million people save on car insurance. If you're tired of overpaying for car insurance, check out the Jerry app. Compare and save. Simple as that.
Download and try Jerry today.
Are you tired?
Was she like a main character?
She's a named character. I don't know about main, but I mean, that's cool. There was nothing we could do. Yeah, it was sad.
I feel like now we kind of have to go off into the side quests.
Is it self-defense? Because we killed a major character with a name and a face?
Perhaps.
And a personality you just can't forget? Where's my friend Martin? Where is he?
And a beautiful...
Where's my
beautiful soul?
Friend, or my beautiful soul and a beautiful hole. Why is the gate of Oblivion open again?
Oh, don't worry about all that.
I feel really bad. Like, a few of those people died for nothing, and like, I could have done something.
Or not done something. That also probably would have helped. Is it still open, the gate?
No, I think it's just a marker on your map.
Hey.
Ooh, look at my... I'm just gonna keep jumping everywhere. Where is my friend Martin? Is he down somewhere?
A gate to Oblivion. You might have killed him.
Wait, look up. Martin? Oh, no.
Martin?
Guys, I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
It's not okay. These viewers are on a fucking strict schedule, and we don't have a lot of time. We're wasting their time.
Have a look at my web.
We're wasting their time?
Yeah.
They're
watching us at 2x speed, don't worry.
Oh yeah, while they do other stuff. Hey, if you're doing other stuff while you listen to this, watch right now.
Yeah, there's important shit happening. When we say happy, you better be saying fucking birthday. Do not jump that.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
I won't.
Do it. Chris, do it.
Shut up, Niall.
Oh, I was seeing if I could pressure
you want to sit through another fucking loading screen? No!
I just want to see if Chris would cave into peer pressure.
Look at that. Oh, that is actually a good social experiment, and you passed.
Thank you.
You passed the social experiment.
Yeah, Chris, you passed.
Dude, why is there so many numbers? Oh! That was so fucking crazy.
You might be able to scale down the rocks a little bit.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, good man.
That's
good
my
man.
skill in real life.
This
is where you were supposed to come up. Oh, yeah.
Wow, it's kind of beautiful now.
Be a shame if a guy's little bald spot got cut off.
Make his bald spot bigger.
I'm a love dragon.
I love dragon.
I love dragon.
I lie down and close my eyes, but I can't stop thinking about it.
Who said that?
What is it, cock and balls?
I was going to say that, but decided against it.
Oh, well,
I'm glad you did laugh.
You're welcome. What are you ladies talking about? Shoes?
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Shopping.
Kavach just finished.
Hey, Martin. Martin, you're the only cool guy in this place.
I admit I've had my doubts about your story.
Get in there. Come with me to Wayne.
You destroyed the Oblivion Gate, they say. You gave them hope. You helped them drive the Daedra back. Yes. I'll come with you to Wayne and Fire. And hear what Judge has to say. Lead on.
He's awfully fucking, reluctant for someone who's basically being told that he gets to be the king.
Certainly.
All right, man, we gotta go this way.
The Aurora Borealis.
I knew I'd unseen it.
Yeah, when the Aurora Borealis happens every frickin' day, it's not that special anymore.
Chris calls it the Aurora Borealis, but I don't agree.
You better not.
This is pretty freaking nice looking, I will say.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a nice looking game.
You were so mad at it.
Oh, that's gorge.
Oh, the moon in the sky. Look at all them fucking stars.
Oh, that's gorge.
Each one of them stars has a guy dying on it.
Every one of those is a copy of Skyrim.
That's sold.
The Todd Howard is sold. It's a sparkle in Todd Howard's eye every time someone remasters Skyrim.
Oh man, he's sold way more than there is stars there.
Almost definitely.
Well, each star is a version of Skyrim he released.
Every blade of grass is a time my Oblivion crashed.
I don't wish to continue this friendship.
The funniest thing I've seen in my entire life.
I'm really excited about it.
I love you, man, for sickos.
Thank you, buddy.
An instant classic.
You made me feel too free.
Friendship. Now playing.
Communicating project status and timelines can be challenging. Turning complex data into clear, actionable insights sometimes feels overwhelming. And that can lead to misalignment and confusion. But what if you could transform project data into compelling visuals in a fast and simple way, without any hassle? Well, with Office Timeline, you can do that right inside Microsoft PowerPoint. It's designed to make your life easier. Just pick your favorite project management tool, and watch as your data becomes a clear-cut timeline that you can then customize to fit your team's needs and branding. Office Timeline turns complex information into powerful visuals, saving hours of manual work. And when it comes to plans, pick what works best for your team. Choose Light if you just need the essentials, Plus for tools that offer greater precision and customization, or Expert if you need the advanced integrations and features that bring maximum efficiency for entire organizations. Transform your project data with Office Timeline to bring clarity, alignment, and results for your teams and stakeholders. Visit officetimeline.com to start creating clear, impactful timelines today.
Will I pick a big peony?
Yeah, get yourself a peony.
Ah, will I pick another there?
Give it a sniff.
Oh. Will I pick a little thing there?
No.
You can't.
Can't. Won't.
Can't.
Shite!
Chris, if you walk while you're crouching, you'll gain experiences.
That's incredible.
Only if there's something around not seeing you, I think.
I don't think so. I think it's, well, in Skyrim it's just when you walk around like that.
I would love to be killing now. Oh,
there's something to kill. Something went.
It's time to use my stealth on an animal. Is that a willow?
It's about to see you, dude.
What's that?
Also, you're two-handing, so it's not gonna fucking help at all.
You okay there, buddy? Are you nice? No? Okay. Well felt.
Well met.
That good boy is no more.
The song gives me nightmares.
It is like fucking taking me back.
Oh! I love all the music. Okay, what was that? Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Guys.
Dude, yeah, fireball those motherfuckers.
They're practicing.
They're practicing to beat your ass.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, they see you. Oh, well.
Oh, what the hell?
No.
Oh, that's Martin.
Jesus, I almost killed him.
I thought he was one of those weird witch people.
Whoa, good job, Martin.
Martin's got fucking hands.
I didn't even know he was still with us.
You fucking
hello.
Try that again.
You try that again and I'll clip my blade through your skull.
We discovered a thing, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna get to our stupid quest.
I thought you said we're not doing the quest no more.
I'm just gonna get rid of Martin and then we're free.
I like Martin.
Why? What has he done?
He's killed those guys for us.
What has he done for me lately?
Honestly, a fair point. I don't know what that does.
Yeah, hopefully he's oh, you're getting stalked. Oh, there's a bear. Let him fight. Yes. It's a very small bear.
It's not very intimidating.
Oh no.
Oh fuck, dude.
He killed the small bear. Don't do that.
Oh, little bears.
There's another bearlet. Oh yeah, they are just really big. Yeah.
Oh, they're cubs.
Oh, they're cubs.
I can't do that.
Certainly. But Martin can. Oh my god.
Man, that goblin one-shotted it. Oh my god.
Good job. He's really cool. You know what? We should keep him. Give me more peony.
You're harvesting so much peony.
I go to my wife and I give her peony.
Do you want a peony?
Sounds like something they'd say in this world, like they're going out and getting strange. I have to go out and harvest peony. I got my peony. I want to get some peony tonight.
I must harvest peony with my wife.
Oh, wait. Martin turned into a wolf.
I am bound by duty and honor to
Poor you've contracted hell joint. What? Your speed is being drained.
Is that real?
Oh, you got a disease, bro.
Yeah, you got
I don't remember
fucking
that.
You probably played as a lizard, so you didn't get no diseases.
Oh, you're right.
Everyone played as a fucking lizard.
Oh, you're diseased.
Yeah, they can breathe underwater.
I always played as a Khajiit.
Why? What did they do?
I don't know. I just I like them. Wait, can you?
There's a
What,
glowing.
yeah, what is the glow?
That's like a shrine.
Yeah, it might just give you a new sign or something. Just fucking touch it.
Let's go touch
Might give you a buff.
Are you still diseased?
Slightly Yes, he's diseased until he
It might undisease you.
True power. It just gives you a buff.
Yeah, but it'll last for a little bit. Might as well take it.
Ah, okay.
Book it.
Don't worry about it. It ain't no thing. Hey man, we're just playing Oblivion, man. You don't gotta worry about nothing. Me and your boy been playing Oblivion, man. You like that character?
Yeah.
How are you? Been better. How about you? Been better. That's too bad. The prey approaches.
What?
What's going on with you?
I ran across a couple of mud crabs.
The esteemed cat burglar honors me. Well done, Hunter. You are being promoted to Shadowfoot. I have no more jobs. However, there are rumors.
Not long
Shadow
ago.
hide the
Horrid beasts. I hate the things.
Snotgrabura. What can I get?
Here you are.
I have a message for you from the Gray Fox. The Gray Fox has a task for you. Meet him at Helvius Cecius' house in Bruma.
Emperor and his 3 sons dead, right under the noses of the Imperial.
My children are starved.
Are you looking for a horse? Broom it. You won't regret.
I see you got my message. Curb your tongue, Shadowfoot. I am the Gray Fox. If you ever want to become a master thief in the guild, you had better learn respect. I see you got my message. Curb your tongue. I see you got... Curb... I see you got my... Curb your... I see you got... Curb... We must talk. I see you got my I have need of your special gifts. The monastery is extensive. Capital! I will mark the location on your map. I need you to acquire Sevilla's stone. It is a large crystal with... Remember, when I receive word that Sevilla... Shadow Hiding. What can this peaceful monk do for you? For you, of course. We understand each other perfect. They live in utter darkness in the secret catacombs. Of course, it doesn't affect them, because they're blind. I really shouldn't be telling. The blind... Don't tell Heridi I said anything.
Okay.
Please be discreet and don't bother the other monks. May you always wear soft silks. It's my pleasure. Certainly. That will get you something. Make sure not to eat Nightshade. Farewell. Good day. Bye. Good day. Take care. Well met. Take care.
Where are you? Ancestor, guide my hands! Feel the wrath of my ancestors! Do your worst! This is the part when you fall down and bleed to death. Am I supposed to be impressed? Die!
What do you think you're doing?
Look out!
Where are you?
Better cut down on the iron. Starting to see things out.
Moth's blessing upon you. Guess it must have been the wind. Nothing to worry about, I guess. Just my eyes playing tricks on me. Whatever it was, it's gone now.
are you? It's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. Ha! Better cut down on the ale. Start to see things I am.
We might be able to grow turnips next spring.
I'm trying to
This place. You have entered a holy. This is the. If you wish to speak me for an offering of glow dust, I'll be here.
Huh. Liquor cut down on the air. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Huh. Must have been the wind. Damn rats. Always skirting around in the ship. Nothing to worry about, I guess. Guess it was nothing.
hear the monks were most... My sources tell me that Sevilla's stone... Cap it! He would have had it destroyed, or taken it from them and kept it under lock and key in the palace. When I have learned what I need to know, I will call for you again. Let us leave Helvius's house now. You think... I see. I suppose there is no hiding it from you. No hiding. What a joke. My whole life is hiding. Everything in that document is true. My identity cannot be known. In fact, I just told you my true name twice, but I bet you don't remember it. You and I have even met before, when I was not wearing the cowl. To your clouded memory, he and I are two different people. My own family doesn't even know me. I would give much to be rid of the gray cowl and its curse. Shadow hide you.
Snackreber. What can I appreciate. Well, well, if it... Looks like you've got it.